Hello. Welcome to the Banter Sports. We just had our eliminator, and the moment is finally here. The moment that everyone had thought of. Some were hopeful when the drought might end. Some were hopeful that it might be a double this year of winning two trophies in a particular season. But all that is history now. RCB have once again uh, do I use the word choked? I don't know. I will just use. There are no filters here, and please don't hate. I think this is a normal word. I think the fans will also agree. But just for context, just to set things in context, Royal Challengers Bangalore were never in this game, and that's the sad truth that the fans have to accept. As brilliant as they have played over the last 6 games today, right from that first over, I feel that Bolt took charge, and it's not just about that wicket or like conceding only 6 runs in his first 2 overs. It's not just that. Bolt just kind of set that tone, and the way the ball swung in the first few overs, it also set the precedent of how Virat was going to play and how he was going to approach things. Obviously, with Faf getting dismissed from the other end, things went just worse. But that didn't help the cause of RCB either, because Virat was only able to uh, extend or carry the batting lineup to a certain extent, and he did that in the field too. Honestly, like, he has been doing this for RCB ages now. He does his best. He did it his best today also, but that didn't prove to be enough, and that's fine. It's sports. At the end of the day, whichever team plays better wins, and Rajasthan Royals played better as a team today, and they won, and they ended their losing streak. They ended RCB's winning streak, and here we have SRH and Rajasthan Royals facing each other in the qualifier 2 at the Chepauk. Now, you might say that this might be a one-off thing. Rajasthan don't have the caliber to maybe beat SRH, things like these. But believe me, no. I think after what happened with SRH in the first qualifier, they'll know their shortcomings. And at a pitch like Chepauk, when you have two frontline spinners and that too, Ashwin and Chahal, you go in as favorites already. So that is one thing that SRH will try to tackle, especially with Head and Abhishek going bonkers right at the top, whether they want to provide a decent, stable middle order, or they just want to go with the same thing that they have done in the season. So that will be an interesting battle. Obviously, we'll come to that later, but we'll just discuss about this match and how things went in this match. We already discussed Kohli's performance and Faf's performance. I think in the batting lineup, both Cameron Green and Rajat Patidar did their jobs. Cameron Green was obviously promoted today, and Patidar came in a little late because the spinners didn't come in when Cameron was sent to bat. But I think when Patidar did come into bat, Ashwin was in red hot form, so that was also there. But here again, I think Patidar played a good innings to just he continued doing what he was doing. Unfortunately, that dismissal of Avesh Khan at that point proved to be very crucial, and RCB just got things from bad to worse at that point. But then again, you have to realize that both these batsmen, middle order batsmen who come in as floaters, did their job and they did it pretty well. But then it was upon the lower middle order and the finishers to continue that job, and Maxwell didn't do that. So yeah, but people have been talking about Aussie mentality, people stepping up in knockouts. That's fine. But it depends on player to player, honestly. and you know this. Mitchell Stark yesterday became Indian for some reason. He dismissed head for a duck, and suddenly the Aussie blood memes came out, and everyone was discussing or blaming head. Today that happened with Maxwell as well. But apart from Maxwell, Cameron Green did his part. So my point is this: it isn't about blood or anything. It's about people stepping up on a particular day, and certainly Aussies have that to step up on that particular day. Maxwell didn't today, which obviously costed his team a lot, not just in batting. Fans who have watched the match know what other aspects he missed out on. The catching, the fielding overall was bad today, and I think the dew factor at the Ahmedabad pitch is certainly something that needs to be addressed. I mean, if you lose the toss and if you are going to like defend a score, that's very very tough. That's very tough. Like it's near to impossible. The amount of dew that is there in the outfield, it is wet, and I'll say the RCB did a pretty well job to like take it to the nearly last over. So kudos to them for that. But then again, I think it's a little unfair and unequal right at the toss for the team who just go in to defend or are put to bat first. So yeah, that's with the batting performance of RCB. Obviously, the bowling performance of Rajasthan Royals. I think two players stand out for me. That is Trent Bolt and Ravichandran Ashwin today. Trent Bolt just for setting the pace of the game right at the top, and you knew that Trent Bolt will come in handy today. He would play a major role. Especially we saw Mitchell Stark yesterday what he had done. Set the tone for KKR right at the top. So you knew that Trent Bolt was needed today, and he did that. Ravichandran Ashwin, why I am saying this, because he came into bowl relatively early, and like until the last 3 or 4 balls of his 4 overs, he didn't pick up those 2 wickets, but he had conceded only 17 or 18 odd runs. So bowling 3.2 overs with that amount of runs is extraordinary in itself, and he kept the run flow in control. Yeah, that's about the Rajasthan bowling lineup. Small total, but in a knockout, chase is a chase. Obviously, a tricky chase in a knockout. But I think the way Yashasvi batted today was extraordinary. Even Kohler was very good because his role was pretty, like I think, defined from the team itself. Go out, express yourself freely in the power play, and then you don't have to think much about the consequences because you have someone like Sanju Samson who can anchor the innings at number 3. So he's given that freedom at the top, and he did live up to the role and the expectations today. Yashasvi again stand out for me because he didn't just bat in the power play, he batted through, presented a strong case for himself about his inclusion in the playing 11 at the T20 World Cup. I'm saying playing 11 because things might be a little dicey. I don't know who will open for India at the T20 World Cup. But certainly with this innings and how Rajasthan plays those 2 games, if they play 2 games, obviously there's 1 game as of now for sure. So his performance in knockouts is certainly something that the Indian selectors will be looking at, I think personally, and they should honestly. If a young player who has the ability to step up in knockouts and is proving himself is in the squad, why don't like you should go forward to select them. I'm not saying to drop Kohli or drop a Rohit, but the team balance can be maintained by shifting their positions to say a Kohli at number 3 or something like that. So that's my year. But then again, I think the Rajasthan batting lineup today in the middle, it was again Riyan Parag doing what he's doing in this tournament. Fantastic job. I thought he would be selected in the T20 World Cup, but he wasn't. But I don't think that India call is very late either. Obviously, due to the impact rule, this year he didn't get to bowl those many overs, and I think players like Riyan Parag, Abhishek Sharma somehow, despite showing their class in batting, if they got to show their bowling abilities a little more, they would have presented a stronger case for themselves to be selected in that T20 World Cup squad. But this is something that again you that doesn't lie in your hands, and honestly, if you have six bowlers who can bowl those 20 overs, you wouldn't want a so-called part-timer to bowl the other overs. So it's fine. I don't think for players like him, the India call is very far either. So he'll get his chance and hopefully he proves himself. Apart from that, I think Shimron Hetmeyer came in handy today. A much needed knock, and the Rajasthan fans will be very relieved because Hetmeyer is that kind of a player who you know that on his day he'll win you matches, and the position that he comes into bat, like he is your match winner. He wins you matches. He lives that moment, winning those matches. So you know that. But he didn't get that chance, I'll say, because at the first half of the tournament, the batting display was just too extraordinary from the players at the top for Rajasthan, and in the second half it just dropped off. So he didn't get that chance to prove himself so much. He did get, and he did prove also, but he didn't get that much. So Shimran Hetmeyer and Rothman Powell proving what they can do is my takeaway, and the best takeaway for Rajasthan fans at this eliminator, because again, I'll say maybe two games, maybe just one game, but if you can have players, international players, Caribbean players who can finish off things in style for your team, there's no better news. If you see champion teams like KKR has been doing this with Russell, with Nareen, so you need those players in form, and it was good to see Robin Powell hit that winning six uh, because he's a player, very young player who is captaining his side, and you generally don't have this perception about him that he's a very serious player, but from his face and yeah, but if you notice his persona of on the field also, I think he concentrates a lot. The catches he took today, he was everywhere on the field, and like not even considering his batting, but he was everywhere in the field literally. So you know the level of concentration he's operating at, and he is that man, I feel, who will share inputs with you occasionally too, with the bowlers, with the field placements. So he's a reliable man, and I'm looking forward to how West Indies performs at this World Cup, because they have a very good squad and they have a good captain who can lead their side. Good news for Rajasthan fans, good news for West Indies fans, and good news for IPL fans. Not so much for RCB fans today, but I think RCB fans getting disappointed today are outnumbered by the number of CSK fans who are happy, who will be happy because RCB won't be traveling to Chepauk, and they wouldn't have to welcome RCB at their home stadium. And we now have three teams in contention for the IPL 2024: KKR versus whoever wins at the eliminator, that is SRH versus RR. Drop in your predictions. Who will win this IPL? Tell me your favorites. Tell us your favorite moments about this IPL and how this tournament has turned out to be.